Welcome to the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast. I'm your host, Wes Corwin. Of course, I've always been the host of this podcast. You've never heard an episode without me, your old pal, Wes Corwin.
Quiet. It's the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast, the only podcast worth listening to.
The only podcast worth listening to.
All right, so, Corwin,
yeah.
What was that deal with that, like, it was like some kind of English major professor from Oxford?
Jeez, from Toronto.
From Toronto.
Jordan Peterson from Toronto. The University of Toronto professor gotten in hot water. He refuses to use very specific pronouns. Obviously, the trans student population would prefer, like, using very select pronouns, like, pronouns of preference. And he says that's a violation of his freedom of speech, that he should be able to say whatever he wants.
Yes.
And normally this comes down to a place of opinion, matter, like freedom of whatever people can do and say with it. But the issue is, of course, that Canada is passing and going to add to its criminal code. There's a bill in the works to add trans people under their Bill of Rights as people that shouldn't be discriminated against or receive hate speech. And subsequently, not calling them by the correct pronoun might be considered tantamount to
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Well, I mean, it's a relative thing. It is true that trans people are limited in terms of their freedoms.
Well,
you can fire a person for being trans. Most people, like, obviously, you can.
I'm not saying I would fire a tranny, but I wouldn't want her in my crash register if she's all fucking, like, all mannish with a 5 o'clock shadow.
You don't have to say that.
No, it's true. So you walk into a delicious place where you eat delicious stuff.
Oh, God.
And the hostess is, like, broad-shouldered, huge fucking, like, man arms hostess. With a 5 o'clock shadow and no lipstick and a cheap wig. Like, really? Like, really? Do you really want me to hire that one as a hostess? She'll be in the back washing dishes. I wouldn't fire her. But am I sounding?
Oh, buddy. It's a whole. I mean,
let's go back to calling her.
Let's go back
instead of her and him.
Oh, buddy. I guess it's tangentially related. I think that people, in terms of people being offended about trans issues, I think the anti-trans people are a little too. They look for things now. Both sides look for things to get irritated. Did you hear about there was an ad that Nike ran, and there was a big female bodybuilder, and people in the comments, 1 million moms said we need to boycott Nike because they put a trans woman. They put this woman in their ad who's clearly trans, and here's the funny thing:
she wasn't.
Not trans, just a female bodybuilder.
She's a terrible person. 1 million moms or whatever.
Oh yeah, that. First of all, it's run by 10,000 people, mostly men, and they call their organization 1 Million Moms, and they'll put on Facebook like, "We are 1 million moms against black people," that sort of a thing. They're just, it's so dumb. It's a Facebook name. I think they have it trademarked or whatever. It's a group, and they're a garbage group of people.
You know why I hate about that shit about, you have to call us it instead of him or her, whatever the fuck they're doing. Yeah. What is it? Z? You have to call them.
You have to call them. Well, it's whatever they prefer. You call them Zay or Z or they or
but they're making up words here. No, I want to be called Bad Mama Jamma. You gotta call me a Bad Mama Jamma, and that's it.
There is
I don't answer to him or dude. It's Bad Mama Jamma or nothing. Because I'm a Bad Mama Jamma sexually.
I get what you want to change lanes. I understand the sentiment, and I do. There is an element where it's like people. Sorry. Okay, lifting it up. Sorry. Well, I was
sorry. The traffic.
Yeah. You were lifting my hand as I was watching us very slowly drift into a car.
It's a shitty phone that we're recording on. I didn't want to break your thing. I didn't want to grab your hand.
If there was any illusion of us standing at desks or sitting at some sort of table, no, we're driving a car going 82 miles an hour.
82, yeah.
And Jesse is at least 2/3 of his attention is focused on at what height I'm holding the phone. as we're drifting around cars.
Well, I want my bashing to be heard. Tranny bashing.
Don't.
I'm just kidding. I don't go tranny bashing without a condom in my right.
It's the thing we've been talking about all week. It's that conservative. You can do conservative comedy. You just can't say certain words.
Tranny, I think is okay. No, I think it's an okay. Okay, look up tranny.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna
Google oral tranny, and you will find them all.
Good Lord.
And you know what? So
why? Oh, I don't. I don't want.
Fine, anal.
Oh my God. Why?
No, but you Google tranny and you're gonna find it. You know? Well, because if you just put tranny, it's gonna take you to transmissions. You know? You don't want transmissions. Nobody wants transmissions.
You don't want to get a transmission from. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, but like, you know what? If a tranny wants to be like a what do you call it? Mechanic. That's fine. She could be a fucking pilot. I don't give a shit. But this is the thing. Like, why do we have to change our vocabulary from zays? How the fuck? Oh, instead of they, it has to be zays, because sometimes it's hers, it's hims, it's I'm a eunuch. I identify as an animal, but I'm also a gay animal. Like, dude, it's this fucking bullshit. I don't hate them. I wouldn't hate them. I wouldn't bash them or whatever. But Jesus Christ, man, you're already winning. Just take the little couple of wins. You're already moving forward. You can't fucking, push a gay off the building in this fucking country. Take it as a win, and then you're like, you get all these rights and you're like pushing for more before you get your rights already settled. Shit. I mean, like, take it slowly, man. You fucking drama queens.
Man, I'm not. What I will say in response to that is that the South said we need to take this slowly in terms of freeing the slaves, and other people were like, no, we need to legalize slavery, and the South was like, let's try to do something over the next 100 years. And that was in 1860, and then Civil War happened, and things, and I understand the sentiment of like, do things like take your victories, but if things aren't equal, you can't. You don't decelerate toward your goal until you're at your goal.
People are hung up about words. It's all fucking bullshit. There was a transsexual man to woman, so it was a woman.
Yes,
I would call her.
Yes.
If the need be.
If you were
talking to her,
if you were to see her in the street, you'd
be like, ma'am, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, you know what? They were saying about condescending terms towards women, and she's like, my dear, I've been called a dude, I've been called a skag, I've been called everything. My dear is the thing that I cannot stand. Frankly, don't call me my dear. And I mean, come on, dude. Like, seriously, a tranny, like, can I call all trannies dude and they won't be offended because she's not offended? Oh, but I can't call other trannies my dear because there might be one that doesn't like to be called my dear. I'm not calling my dear. Get over here. Or here you go, my dear. So they're gonna be hung up. Oh, that's the worst word you could call that fucking tranny. Like, really, my dear? Is that the worst word you could call a tranny? My dear. That's the one she was hung up over, not dude or skag.
I think, first of all, I wish we could get a couple minutes in this podcast without you using the word
skag? Dude, they're trannies.
They're transsexual people.
Well, it's short.
So, look.
Transsexuals.
There's a word that's shorter than African American or black people, but no, that word is longer.
POC, I think. No, people of color. POC.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
POC. So I can call them pops. When it's a bunch of black people, I can call them pops.
Efficiency is not the priority when it comes to word choice.
Fine, transvestites.
Yeah. Well, no, those are people.
Well, TVs. Can I call them TVs?
I don't know what that means.
Transvestites, TVs?
Well, so
transsexuals, TSVs? So
transvestite means there's no sexual, they just dress like the opposite sex.
Okay.
So that's a whole other thing. That's like but transsexual is you've gotten the surgery and now you're medically the opposite gender from what you were born.
What if you want to keep your wiener? But you're still like, oh, look at me, I'm a woman.
Transvestite.
Transvestite.
Yes.
So transsexual and...
It's like the Spanish verb vestir, is to dress, vestite, transvestite. Yes.
Ah, vestir.
So yeah,
Spanish, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Latin in base, so transvestite, and then the other one transsexual. So you're changing the way you dress, you're flipping it, and then the other one you're flipping your gender, effectively.
So what are cross-dressers?
Transvestites.
Okay.
You're clear?
Oh yeah, I'm clear.
All right, okay. Well, so what point were we on? I think I could be wrong. I might. You read the news story you're describing. I didn't. I think my dear. Watch this police car. He's stopping someone else.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine. I got it.
But
I'm on it.
also very slowly pull back the speed.
Yeah.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah.
The Let's Not Get Pulled Over podcast.
Let's not get pulled over. The only podcast worth listening to.
The only podcast not worth stopping. Officer. All right.
Okay, now we're possibilities. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. I think that the point that she was making wasn't that all transsexual people are offended by my dear. I think she gets irritated when she's called my dear. I think the larger point of that sentiment is call people what they want to be called. And
well, I mean, it comes out of like, oh, sweetie, get over, like, let me help you, sweetie, and stop looking at my tits, kind of people, you know, like. I think people are too hung up on that shit. Like, when's the last time you saw real fucking hatred, except at a Trump rally? Like, when's the last time you actually saw that?
I live in Texas and Tennessee. I've seen hatred.
I haven't seen it in a while. You know?
I think it's a difference in perception.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're involved in the hatred to see that. Oh shit, yeah.
There is an interesting. I'm trying to be very careful because there's a topic that gets a lot of people agitated.
That's why it should be your thoughts. You shouldn't be careful. It should be your fucking thoughts. I'm
trying to walk cautiously. I'm trying to tread cautiously. But here's the thought. There was a thought experiment in a class, a college class. They just to get an idea of what that circumstance were to be like. So everybody in this college class had to call everybody by their preferred pronoun. And one guy in the class decided his preferred pronoun. They all had to do this for a day. His preferred pronoun was Your Majesty. So everybody the rest of the day had to call him Your Majesty. And you had to. So I do understand the encroachment. That's what I was talking about. There's a certain point where your rights end and someone else's begin, and this is a gray area because hate speech is not protected speech. So if you say something like that is freedom of speech doesn't apply to hate speech. If you go around, you can say absurd things about, I think, large groups of people, but once you use that to justify an attack on somebody, violence, or you use a slur at somebody.
So you can be like, oh, them queers are ruining our nation, but you can't go that queer in particular.
I think that's where you get. So I'm not a lawyer. I have no knowledge of hate speech laws, but I think that's the distinction. So I don't think anybody's going to take anybody to. I think the point is you learn about the person you're talking to, their preferred pronoun, and you just don't. But I think that's where the gray area is the encroachment. Is at some point that's why this bill matters, is because once trans people become I think they should be as a protected group.
I think it should be equal and everything.
So they can't get fired. They can't lose their lease just because they're at this point.
But I mean, like I said, if there's a chick, you know, with like a man haircut and she kind of looks like she's in between. You don't want her like okay, it's legal to knock off all your teeth, or or not brush your teeth. It's legal to not brush your teeth ever. Right. So I don't want that guy at my cash register fucking greeting my customers. Oh yeah. You know?
Well, that falls under appearance. That falls under appearance and cleanliness, and that's a whole.
Well, cleanliness fine, but okay, fine. Some guy with like tattoos on his fucking face. If I have a guy with tattoos on his face, I don't want him on my like front of the store. I mean, shit, he can go back and make boxes or whatever the fuck my company will do.
Sure.
If I ever, get a job. But I think this should be fair and everything, but there's limitations to that because of appearances. I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad that this woman wants to be a guy and she looks kind of butchy, but it's really sad. But it's not something that I want in the front of my store to greet customers. That's what I'm trying to get. Like, it could be fair, but there has to be limitations to what fair is. Like,
why do there have to be? I don't understand why there have to be limitations.
Because you could be like, well, you're kind of ugly, so you can't be working here. You cannot be.
Well, I don't think you can not hire someone for being ugly.
So if they're ugly, that's fine.
You can. I mean, I
want to discriminate against ugly people.
Like, whether or not they're trans, I don't think you can expressly write on, like, when you're running a business, you can't write not hired ugly, like, about it.
Because that's what I'm concerned, that one of these people are gonna run amok because they're really butchy or they don't dress appropriate, and it's because I'm trans. No, it's because you're ugly. You're very ugly. That's where people like.
I mean, so I think not hiring someone because they're trans and not hiring someone because they're ugly are two things that are equally.
A great looking trans, I'll sit her on my lap. Look, dude, seriously, like, if it's a really pretty tranny, I wouldn't smooch her, but maybe I would. But
I was about to say
I might smooch her.
I was about to say how sad it is that I was proud of you because you didn't say. If it were you said if they were a trans, I'd sit on my lap, and then 6 seconds later you say tranny.
Oh,
you were doing so well. I
could say trans.
I felt pride in my heart. In the cockles of my heart, I was like, we're getting through to each other, and yet here we are. It lasted not even 4.5 seconds before you dropped another T-bomb.
Where were we? Cute trannies?
Cute? Oh.
If it's a cute tranny, fine. What's so wrong with that fucking word? What's so wrong with that word? Dude, I bet you they love it. You fucking grab up behind, you're such a cute tranny, Like, I'm pretty sure they enjoy it.
Oh, man. I'm officially the Billy. I'm the Billy Bush of this podcast.
Who's Billy Bush?
Okay, fine. We'll talk about that. Billy Bush was the guy on the bus with Trump. Grab her by the.
Grab her by the scrotum.
Talking about
trans people.
God,
trans people. Grab her by the scrotum.
One step forward, one grab by the God. One.
You pinch that foreskin and you pull. You pull until she makes a squeaking sound.
Oh, for the love of God. One step forward, 2 steps backwards. 2 steps.
And I know people that are gay, trans, and all that stuff. I get along with them fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them. I wouldn't call them like, oh, my tranny friend. No, because it's like, oh, my
right. Probably call them by their name.
Their name, yeah.
Gregory or something.
Yeah, I mean, in a group, they're like, oh, well, the trans people or whatever. And I do use tranny. Why not? I don't understand what's wrong with tranny.
I think they don't. I don't think as a group they like the word. Think
if I were to get confused with a transmission, I'd be okay.
I couldn't tell you the exact reason.
I don't understand the reason. That's why I hate you can't call them trans. It's like, why? Trans? So I have to say, like, people of transgender, like, really long?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Transgender or transsexual or LGBTQ, something of that variety.
Yeah, because I'm like, and also blacks. I'm like, well, they're black people. And they're like, well, you can't say that. African American. Oh no,
you can say.
I can say blacks now.
I mean, I think you can. I think you can say people of color. You can say. Well, I mean, I don't think black is inherent. I think you can. Well, I mean, not with that.
Blacks.
Not with that tone.
You know them blacks.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm dating a black woman.
Yeah. Yes, you are. Yeah. How's that going?
It cured my racism.
Oh, good. Now we just got to work on everything else.
Now I have to have her grow a dick that'll cure my my sexual fears.
What does she have to do so you'll stop stealing things from Walmart?
No,
that didn't.
Funny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That's fine. I hope nobody fucking listens to this one.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man, come on.
I'm sorry.
That's my bread and butter. You just ruined my bread and butter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Sorry.
Shut your fucking...
I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ.
You're going to have to start stealing things from the Target.
No!
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
Jesus,
sorry.
I'm glad only like 12 people listen to my podcast.
Are there Kmart's in Texas? Can you... Oh... Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Christ, dude. Stop saying tranny. I'll stop saying that. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'll stop using bad slurs. You know?
Well, you can always get lunch taking things out of the sample section at the Central Market. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dude, what else are you gonna...
I'm so sorry. Man. What am I doing?
You're ruining my fun. You're gonna ruin my fun.
No.
Somebody's gonna be in Central Market and be like, oh yeah, he eats the fucking food.
Yeah. Is that Jesse Lopez from the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast?
The only podcast worth listening to?
Get out of those croutons. Podcasting, darling. You get out of there.
Look, okay, fine. I do steal a bunch of stuff, but this is the thing.
Okay.
If you go to whatever, you grab a sandwich, you finish it, you don't have to pay for it if before the cash register. Like if you could throw it in if you finish the sandwich or you finish the soda before at a Kmart, let's just say Kmart because I don't do that there. And you finish it, you gobble it up before you get to the cash register, it's free. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here in the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast.
You can Google the store policy at the Kmart.
Yes.
And then when you do that, please send it to me because I've never read it before.
I've never read it before.
But I'm sure those are the rules. This is America.
Yes.
Of course those are the rules.
After you're done learning, you press oral transvestite. The correct word. See what kind of porn you get. Oral transsexual then.
Yes, there we go. I mean,
transvestite.
Don't Google.
Well, because what's the point of Googling watching porn?
If she's got the...
If she's got a dick.
Right.
It's different. If she doesn't, it's like, why don't you just watch women then?
Oh, that's relatively progressive. Is your implicated the idea that watching porn with a woman that's a post-op and a woman is exactly that. That's good on you.
Oh, thank you. My dick does not discriminate, sir.
I'm glad that. I mean, I didn't. Okay, yeah. Fine.
But when it's in competition with her dick, it's not.
Then it's
it's a whole different story.
Whole other ball game.
You know, your testosterone you have to man up. You have to treat her a little rough. Teach her who's boss.
Must you?
Yeah. Yes.
Good Lord.
I've never smooched with a tranny or anything. But I invite them to try.
All right.
I mean, I'm in a relationship, but like, if I'm ever single and you're a cute tranny, come up and buy me a beer.
I'm single, but I'm always on the market. You know?
I said tranny.
I'm looking for.
Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Damn, I thought I was gonna go all the podcast long.
You never even came. You started 18 minutes using the right words. You lasted 5. We're getting there.
Almost.
You'll
teach me, Corwin.
Almost.
Okay, so we're making up words now for them.
That's
good now.
Okay. Just whichever words they. I think the primary words are if it's a male person, if post-operation male, you use he. If it's post-operation female, you do she. And then some people don't identify as either one, and that's when you use the they.
Okay, when you don't identify with either one, I don't like that at all. Oh, I don't have a gender. Well, if you don't identify with anything, let's just go with the gender you're born. Why not? Let's check your chromosomes. If you don't identify, I'm on the ledge. Well, let me check. You pull up the dress and the remnants of a dick, or you check their blood. You check one of those needles. You take out the blood, and you see what you are. Oh, you don't know who you are? I'll tell you who you are.
Well,
if you don't know. If you want to be a woman and you're a man, that's fine. If you want to be a man, you want to be, that's fine. But you don't identify sexually with anything, well then, guess what? You go back to what you were born.
If I could, gender is a social construct, so it doesn't actually mean
biologically.
Wait, hold on. Sex is a binary. Gender is a social construct where it's across a spectrum. So you could be multiple identities, but biologically, yeah, those are two separate intellectual concepts we're talking about. Is gender and sex is what we're getting at.
Gender and sex.
Gender and like sex, male, female, but gender's a whole. It's got similar endpoints, but there's a middle slider that you can be multiple. You can be in between on there. It could be this, that, and the other. There are some people that are gender fluid. That
they're what do you call it? Their gender changes with the moonlight.
Oh, love it.
Is that it?
No, it's just there's a close to the middle, and they do shifting
with the tides. It's fluid. It's the tides.
Good luck. I get. Is that a play on words? Gender fluid.
It is.
I'm
really good at this comedy thing, man.
Moonlight.
Now,
okay. I thought you were being dismissive. You're just being clever.
I am being
that
clever.
Old Jesse Lopez wit. That old charm.
Give me a spoon.
You rogue. You cad. You cur. You scoundrel.
I like scoundrel. Call me a scoundrel.
Scoundrel.
Call me a scoundrel.
You scoundrel.
If you were wearing a pretty dress right now, I'd smooch you.
Man. And if we were at a Big Lots, you'd be stealing bags of chips. I'm so sorry. Why do I do this?
No, stop it. He ate a granola bar that I stole. He knows I stole it, and he ate it anyways. You fucking hypocrite. You fucking hypocrite. Huh? You probably still have granola in your fucking teeth. Fucking almonds and blueberries and cashews, you miserable prick.
It was delicious.
Yeah, I've never had one of those, and I stole it. I was like, maybe I'll have it.
You said I could have either one.
No, because I looked at it. You had a fucking
I've always wanted a kind bar. Which one do you want? I'll take the kind bar. Okay, and now we're 28 minutes deep in this podcast, and everything's coming out. All of a sudden, the quiet resentment.
You're a granola guy, not a kind bar guy.
I love kind bars. Kind bars.
I know, they're my favorite too.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. So how did that stolen product taste?
It was good.
I stole it. You know I stole it, right?
I can either confirm or deny what I know.
You know, next time Wes Corwin gives you a business card, that was stolen.
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 I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna use them.
Nope.
No.
No, I'll do it.
That was stolen.
I don't care. What are we gonna bring it back? No.
You can return it. They'll give you back like the $8 or whatever.
That's still defrauding the company. If
well, you're too good for it, aren't you?
I'm too. What do you mean?
You're there accusing me of thievery.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
You just did.
When did I do? No.
You're saying like, this guy goes to Walmart and eats all the grapes, and then he doesn't pay for them. I do that.
Oh, we've gone on.
No, I taste one.
Taste one. One bunch.
One after the other.
One bunch after the other. Being fed into your mouth like an Egyptian king.
The whole bushel.
And instead of being carted away on the big hammock like the Egyptian king used to, you're just on top of a rascal scooter.
Fuck.
30 minutes deep, I thought.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I just want to end with you shouldn't hate.
Oh,
but don't make me call you Zoobaliboo or whatever. I'm a Zoobaliboo because I don't have a gender. Fuck you. I'm going to call you ma'am or sir. Out of respect. Because I'm a very respectful man. I'm going to be madam. If you're like, don't madam, sir. Oh, no, not sir either. I'm like, well, then fuck you. Get out of my store. Get out of my store for being ugly.
Oh, dear. Okay. Well, we've learned. We haven't learned anything. Thanks for listening to 30 minutes of the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast.
The only podcast worth listening to. What's the other topic?
What did you learn? Did you learn anything?
I did.
What did you learn?
I learned that they're making up words now.
Oh, okay.
Which sickens me. It does sicken me. I mean, not them.
Not them.
You want to be gay?
The practice.
Or you want to change genders? That's fine. But don't be like, oh, we have to call them Zubili-doos. Hey, Zubili, it's like, oh, it's men, it's women, it's children, and it's Zublu-boos.
You've changed that word. You've changed that word. A couple times now.
Blah. Call me a blah. Call me a blah.
Here's the thing. If somebody walks up to you and you're like, so what do I call you? And they go, ah! I don't think they're trans. I think they're trying to kill you.
Or they're autistic.
Yeah. I think you're dealing with maybe some kind of animal. You see a chimp in a dress and it's like, what do I call you, sir, madam? And he goes, ah! And you're like, get out of my store. All right. Thank you for listening to the Jesse Lopez 15-minute podcast, the only podcast worth listening to. Goodbye.